My name is Andrea Vogt and I'm the Director General of EPE, representing the heating and cooling industry. Heating and cooling, it brings so many benefits. It's essential for providing fresh and safe food, it's essential for medicine, it's essential for a healthy and productive indoor climate. And it also contributes to achieving the Paris Agreement. It supports the phase-out of fossil fuels, first by increasing the efficient use of energy and of resources, second by providing flexibility to the grid, and that enables the switch to renewable energies, and third by supporting the electrification of the heating sector. And I think that industry has a responsibility in that sense and is ready to take up that responsibility and has a very crucial role to play. And I'm proud to spread the word about this and to represent that industry.